Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 2. Gonna be moving on with the lower bracket now. Gonna be another match between Maze, rocking his usual colors, which as I always say, I'm quite a fan of. Although he seems to change colors quite a lot, but this whole tournament I think he's been the orange and blue. His opponent gonna be cowofschmau as the Galzian. Now we haven't gotten info.txt, but I think I can extrapolate how this went down. Let me see here. So Maze is 4 and Cow is 5. What does that mean then? So, Cow gonna pick faction first, and it's gonna be Galzian. Maze picking Soban. I think this is no surprise from anyone. This is weird music. I've never had this music play in a multiplayer match. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, they're both just playing their mains, but it would have been cowofschmau who picked this map, I believe, and then Maze picks the next two, so... I'm trying to think why Cow would have picked this map actually against Soban. Maybe he just likes it, I don't know. It might just be a preference pick. I can't think of any particular reason why the matchup would go well for him here, but... We do have Sport Cruiser first from Maze, gonna be rather modest though, just 7 up. I usually go 8 on this map, I feel like it's very safe. But yeah, pretty standard play there. We will probably see a bunch of LAV spam, but it's not going to be 1-base stuff, and I really like that. Oh yeah, look, LAV fab. Although that's entirely standard. That's just how you do Sport Cruiser first. I will say though, this is not the right map for 1-base play, so this is definitely the right thing to do, even if it is a little bit different from what it usually does. Blowing himself up there, which is a little painful, but that's okay. I do that all the time too. I'm sure if we were, you know, playing DOK in like the pro scene, we wouldn't see that. Another thing I want to point out, by the way, quick drops. Well, look at that, dude. He's clearly doing it. You can see he just did it again to get the probe out. So he's getting try-hardy, man. I love it. That's awesome. As for cowofschmau, we saw a base runner. No, the base runner's out. Yeah, he would have had to do like an insane quick drop to handle that one. But it's gonna be ref mode first with no base runner retirement. A little bit of an odd choice. Normally we would retire the base runner for that, but maybe he just values the artifact and such. Oh, sorry, I was like alt tab for a second. Yeah, the probe actually died there, so... But he got the information that there was a sand skimmer out. But he doesn't know, like, if the tech was out for, like, earlier or whatever, or if there's an army on the field or something. So that's kind of a bad probe loss, because it does not allow him to know his opponent is playing eco. You're gonna see AV fab come out, that's pretty standard. Should be continuing to make salvagers here until the tech is done. What? It does? Oh my... How did I not know this? No fun you are... I like that. Wow. And so if you double tap it, then they'll go back to work after they drop, huh? Dang. I mean, this is like one of those moments where your entire view on a game changes, you know? Now I hate DOK. It doesn't support skilled play. Sandskimmer is going to come in here, try and get some damage in, but that's obviously not going to work. We have ALMs out in the field, whatever, so... actually kind of managing to take this fight here. So what Maze ought to do is just get back to his support cruiser, but... This sand skimmer in a location where he's not getting shot. He's just like, can I just like stay here, or... and actually we are going to get an extraction from cowofschmau, so it has paid off that he got kept that base runner, I guess. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Oh, you know what I just noticed? Yeah, he's getting power reserves early, which is really kind of weird. I don't know. It's a little wonky. Anyway, the AV is out. We do have ALMs in the field, so yeah, this Sport Cruiser is going to be completely safe. Not expecting to see too much damage come down off of it. I would still smoke it, just because every little bit of damage counts. This guy's not going to have to smoke for a while, but... nice. I love doing this. This is just like the best thing. If you didn't know, the targeting jammer reduces the vision range of units, and so if you just put it down on a scanner, I mean, it's a free ability, you know. And then they can't see anything for a little bit. Another one deployed here too. Actually, is being very effective at slowing the sand skimmers, but this one's not going to be like too impactful. Just buys like a little bit of time. I think this base runner probably dies, but Who knows? We'll just have to see. Another sport cruiser coming out. So Maze is playing very economically. He's getting, well, power reserves for some reason, but he's not going for full LAV spam. I like it. You know, he's kind of mixing things up in response to the map, and I do appreciate that. Base runner kind of going the wrong way if he wanted to, how do you say? If he wanted to, like, stay alive or whatever. But maybe he's going for, like, scouting information, but I don't think he's going to get to the third in time. Plus, he's got a probe, so, I mean, might as well just use that, right? Yeah, me too, A-game. But I also really want KC-15, because there's money. I'm going for that money. Isaac here, running around. Oh, that's right, no one can count to 3. Half-Life 3, Portal 3, Team Fortress 3, Dota 3, Jaraci Cup 3. It's never gonna happen, guys. Like, just get over it. Yeah, he increased his armor by 3. It even says it in the tooltip. You see that? And now his armor is 13. Oh no. Yeah, that's gonna have to be fixed. Well, we do actually have a second extraction here from cowofschmau, so that's good for him. He's got quite a lot of power there now. Assault Cruiser Fab, interesting. Wow. So we're gonna have very early Assault Cruiser Fab coming out for Maze, despite the fact that we've scouted rails on the field. So I'm not sure how much I like that. I don't think it's going to work terribly well. Probe goes down, by the way, although it actually filled through the carrier, so maybe it managed to do a little bit of damage on its way out. It impaled the entire carrier. Do you see that? Just smashed all the way through. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think assault cruisers here are a little bit of an odd choice. They're probably not going to be able to get too much done on the field because we already have heavy rails out there, so we'll just have to see, though. A lot of ALMs, of course. He's got 70 fleet capacity. Let me give you a tip, by the way. If you don't need the fleet capacity and you're not like going to survive an attack by putting it down, don't put it down. You don't need it. You know, gotta be a little more reactive. But he's heard me say that a million times. I'm like nagging him at this point, so just preaching to the choir. You know how it is. This AV here gonna die. Could have smoked, but you know it's okay. The attempt is there. The attempt is there. Skimmer's gonna come in here, take out this targeting jammer. Down he goes. But yeah, Maze really with no field control at the moment here, right? Because the railguns can just kind of push, even against this. That's not even an assault cruiser. That's a support cruiser. He's not even building any of them, is he? Power 4, mate. Okay, look. The thing is, in some ways he can be justified here because the ALM spam can actually stop the railguns from pushing, really. Anyway, in some ways he's actually justified here because the ALMs can actually do a pretty good job against like railguns because you can deploy it on them like that, right? And yeah, these guys have to retreat now. But like, oh, that's actually pretty coordinated. Look at the way he comes in there with the AAVs too. This is just not a reliable strategy though. Your opponent has so many ways he could exploit this if you're trying to use this to survive. And this, by the way, is not going well either. He's actually like taking a lot of damage on that sport cruiser. He might just lose it if he doesn't, you know, actually just commit a unit to it. Which he could do, by the way. He's build an AV. Drive this guy up here. Get the carrier there. But that's okay. Well, we have artillery teching as well. That can be a response to railguns, but I was talking with A-Game about this recently, and we were like, yeah, it doesn't ever seem to really do as well as we expect. You know, A-Game, I don't think you should, because this kind of play should not be supported, in my opinion. But obviously that comes across as pretty much about as biased as I think it is, right? But it's just, it's my opinion that if ALMs are really strong, then they can be exploited, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like how Garm always like tries to exploit things, you know? So he's got these like LAV openers, because the LAV can beat the Sandscanner, we just have like this terrible like early game. It's like grinding your teeth against nails or something, you know what I mean? I mean, it'd kind of be like that against Soban, I think, if the ALM is too powerful. So. Oh yeah, like you know in the Deserts patch, right? Like, you know how many games I won just using, like, only the microwave emitter and ALMs? That was it. And I would just, like, crush people, you know? Like, they could not deal with it. Just because they were so overpowered, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like ALMs are the kind of thing that could easily be exploited.
Enemy signature identified.
Yeah. Let's just not talk about that. Oh yeah, so we have air. This is one of the ways that you can exploit ALM play, by the way. So, you see that missile. Anyway, oh, and the carrier too. That's a good way to do it. Scanner comes out here. It's gonna get the information so he sees like where it is, and then the railguns can just besiege in that range. That's a good way to do it. Air units obviously can't be targeted by ALMs. This isn't Command and Conquer Generals. So that's obviously another way to do it. Or just a lot of Sandskivers, you know, I mean, they can take him out too. Although he's got assault cruisers on the field, so I guess that's not the most reliable way. Although one thing I will say is, if Maze has already, yeah, okay, there we go. If he's already invested this much into power reserves, he definitely ought to get that microwave emitter, just because it can still be really good. This carrier from cowofschmau kind of, I don't know, like he didn't see these assault cruisers coming until too late for some reason. He knew that they were on the field, like he could see them. And he's running away here. He doesn't need to. Like he can kind of chunk you with the tactical missiles, but he doesn't have any follow-up. So you should actually just get in there, or at any rate, just evacuate the base. Evacuate the base. But remarkably, he's going to be okay here, because Maze kind of choked with the ACs too. They shouldn't have overdriven, they should have just gotten up there and then attacked barrage. Which will often happen with assault cruisers, you know, they're very soft units, you gotta use them carefully. Yeah, but, you know, cowofschmau is, oh my gosh, ooh, yeah. There you go. I was gonna say though, cowofschmau is doing a pretty good job taking out the ALMs though. Friendly fire! This guy, what the? How'd this guy become a commander? I guess he's just been around for a while. We have anti-air turrets getting set up in very relevant locations. Fun fact, Saban get base runner inventory for free. So if you just build a base runner, you can already put down anti-air turrets. More ALMs, I love it. I love it. The ALM strategy can be used. I'm not gonna say like this is just bad. It's just that like it shouldn't be this used, because at a certain point it becomes a little gimmicky. You know what I mean? But we actually had a really good game against A-Game versus, with Tren back in like Artifact Cup 6 or something. I can't remember exactly. But where this kind of like ALM spam caused Tren to manage to like extract the winning artifact basically. Like he just couldn't chase him. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, the way I've seen ALMs used the most effectively is that the Saban player makes a push, and then he backs away and his opponent chases, and the ALMs are just too much, and he ends up taking way more damage than he thought. He can't really extricate because, you know, there's all these like ALMs everywhere slowing him down and stuff. This guy becomes a freaking guardian. I don't even know. That's crazy. And then, you know, after the person tries to push back, his army just gets killed, and the Saban player comes right back in again. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is another reason why you shouldn't put down your turrets in random places, because they'll just get killed. But yeah, like that's, I think, the proper way to use ALMs. Does he have Sport Cruiser Anti? He does, okay. So he's good here, he doesn't need to worry about the interceptors just yet. Although, you know, if he docked the wounded one, he could probably come in here and like kill this thing. What are you going after? My dude, my guy! Where goest thou? This is like Support Cruiser City, man. Goodbye, Guardian. I think his name is Estel or something. I don't even know. Nobody cares. He's dead. He's a goner. Nice job, Will. Yeah, that's the correct response. That was definitely not his finest moment there. You know, microwave emitter's ready, and these guys are super bunched up. If this was Coalition, I'd say we were watching, you know, the end of a Galzian player. Oh, what? You're putting it on a base runner? Come on, man. This is like mega opportunity right here. Because you can kind of isolate your opponent's carrier, and then he's going to have to run back through it, spend a bunch of time healing. Either that, or he's just going to die immediately. Like, you'd love to have that microwave emitter now, wouldn't you? Ooh, yeah, this carrier's gonna take some kind of mega damage from this. Oh, jeez, he's down almost half. Ooh. Yeah, he does. Oh, well, because he's using them, right? Oh, boy. But this is still risky times, though, for what's his face? Yeah, Savon carrier fire. In fact, what he should really do is power down these two and put 5 power into the ALMs, right? I mean, these rails just do so much damage. Like, his carrier has to give them more respect than he is. And if the artillery like ever gets in range of those rails, it's gonna be game over. Oh my gosh, that carrier's so low! Get out of there! Get out of dodge! He's dead, man. Oh, what a throw! Oh no, he had like easily the winning army there. So ALM much more important, Kappa. Yeah, I know. So, I mean, just definitely the ALM should not have been powered up there for sure, but yeah, he had the army to win that. He just didn't handle it properly. The Savon carrier, if you didn't know this, it's very much like a support carrier. You're not supposed to have it as like a frontline unit. If you put like power into the range and the damage over there, you know, you're gonna be good. Like you're contributing to the fight pretty nicely, but yeah, that's not the way to do it. Definitely the yeah, I mean, I was too. The micro emitter shouldn't have been deployed here either, because you have a really nice target for it, and you're just using it on like a base runner. The artifact hadn't even spawned yet, you know what I mean? And amazingly, he killed it. Like, it just kind of sat there and took it, but yeah, ALMs, like, micro emitters have to be used for zoning, you know what I mean? So it's good to save them for the fight. What a choke, dude! Well, cowofschmau gonna be happy about that one. Let me just get game 2 in there. Whew. Okay. Game 2 and 3 going to be Maze's choice. Yeah, he did. I saw that, which is hilarious, right? Because all he had to do was just move out of there. But we saw something else of cowofschmau's die kind of in that same way. Can't remember what it was, though. Looks like the map choice here for Maze is going to be the Boneyard. Important to know that, unlike in group stages, the map choices are made before the game begins, so you don't get to have context for like how your opponent is playing, really. But yeah, what do I want to see from this match? I want to see definitely like not investments into carrier power early, although I think we're probably going to have that, just based on the way that things tend to go. I don't know. The thing is, like, if you remember back in the day. Oh, and we have one on our use. This is probably going to be an AV rush, so this is something I do want to see. This will be cool. I wonder, Agan, what do you think about base runner retirement if you're going to do an AV rush?
Rally point designated.
Oh, there is actually a cooldown on the AA turret. Yeah, and Descara is like the OG coalition player, so I would trust his judgment there. Although Saban base runner probably a bit less useful, so. Although, oh man, think of like, if only targeting jammers did affect carriers, just like think of what you could do, like popping them on there and then, you know, AV rushing and stuff, but the targeting jammer could actually be really spicy in that AV rush because it's free, you're not losing anything for it, and yeah, it's a good way to like get around, you know, an opponent defensive position, like he's got rails or something, just like pop the ALM on it, drive in there. No, that's actually fine because he's gonna have it charged up again. Kind of a random position though, don't you think? Anyway, what I was saying before was can you imagine, okay? Can you just Maze is playing 40 chess over here. Who am I to question his judgment? He nearly had it. Oh no. I shouldn't find this stuff so funny, but it's I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, what I was saying earlier was that if you remember back in the day... Oh, what the... Oh, right. Sport Cruiser First actually needs RUs now. I'm gonna get back to what I was actually saying. Okay. If you remember, back in the day... I mean, like, way back. Let's go, like, Kara Cup 6, 7, 8, you know what I mean? When we would see Maze versus Shrike, that was always a series that we really looked forward to, because it was very even, you know what I mean? And I feel like, Maze always was kind of a little bit of a gimmicky player, and Shrike was a very, like, standard player. He just wasn't terribly good at it. And you look at him now, and Shrike is, like, actually quite good at what he does. He was the guy who ended my 100% winning streak on auto match. I'm very mad at him for that. You know, he's a pretty competent player. You wouldn't expect him to beat people like Catharsis and Descara, but you'd expect him to be able to beat them, you know what I mean? And I feel like Maze, he was improving too, but then he just started falling back on these like bizarre kind of gimmicky strategies, you know, and it's just like, well, you know, there you go. I mean, you're not really getting any further, are you? So, it's kind of sad to see. Do you love, by the way, how these like pylons are just freaking floating? This is it's just Gaussian technology, you know. By the way, I think the idea here is that like they scan the artifact or something, but I mean I can't tell. I don't know. Obviously for gameplay it makes sense to have an extraction zone, but it does seem a little bit arbitrary. Like how does that work exactly? Nice one. Yeah, so we do have an extraction from both sides though, but it looks like if cowofschmau wants to, if he's kind of cognizant of it, he will get that second one picked up. And it's 2 PC from him. Sorry, I haven't been watching at all. Assault Ship Fab finishes. Okay, this is actually the setup for kind of an intense match here. So we have AAV Fabrication starting to get on the queue now. He saw that production cruiser earlier with the base runner, but he has no idea. Whoa. What the heck? Oh, what is giving him the sensor ping there? It's pinging from like all the way over there. Is that support cruisers that do that or what? What the? This one? Agam, explain this to me. How does he see this? What the heck? I look over and they're like pinging from like the carrier and whatever. Yeah, there might be something broken here. I don't know. This it must be, man. It must be. Anyway, cowofschmau not totally handling this properly though. So he's getting slowed by ALMs. The carrier's also doing Sunder, which is really effective. Yeah, I knew that, so you can increase the contact value for certain things. It must be really, really high. Yeah, Catharsis. Well, the thing is, what he needed to do is just attack on both sides, draw the defender out, and then move over here, and you know, you're gonna have like a dead second base or something, right? And then you fall back with refinery mode and you're fine. I mean, this could definitely have worked, but he conglomerated. He shouldn't have done that, because this PC here, it got pinged randomly, but he didn't know what it was. So this was kind of a ninja, you know what I mean? And so he could have come in on the side there, and then just like all of these guys would be dead. Maybe even the support cruiser too if he's lucky. You back away, you get refinery mode, and then things are golden, you know what I mean? Oh, sick moves there, slowing down the production cruise a little bit. Don't know how impactful it's going to be, but I like it. But no, that totally could have worked. That should have actually been like a lot of damage, but it was just a little bit... Whoa! Okay, that is damage. but still, I think Maze has very good chances this game, because he's definitely ahead at this position. Just needs to worry about anti-air, I guess. And other than that, he's basically just fine to expand up to 3 base, and he knows he's going to be ahead. We do have ref mode on the way, which is good. So, cowofschmau is going to kind of pop back up on a 3 base eco. There is actually another option for Maze, which is to invest heavier into army, and then see if you can kind of like attack your opponent over on this side, but I don't think he ought to do that. He should just use the units he's already got, because I feel like they're going to suffice for that purpose. He's also got a railgun, you know, so things are Gucci over there. And we know in patch, you know, the AAV should win with proper micro in this fight. We have armor 1 from both sides, which is more effective as Saban than it should be. You know, we all know about that apparently. At least now we do. Yeah, I wish I knew all this stuff like while we were still playing. I would have just played Saban every time. LEV armor coming out now, so it looks like he's investing into those strikecraft upgrades. I mean, that's pretty normal, right, because it is Maze, but it looks like he's actually going to move out aggro with his carrier, so this is perhaps another option. Yeah, no, that does make sense to patch something like that out during turn A, because, like, I really don't like patch pushing during a tournament. I feel like that's really bad, but, look, man, I tried. I was busy, okay? But, I mean, if it's just, like, a simple bug fix, that's okay, because it's better than just playing an entire tournament with, like, a bug. Apparently that happened in Valcora Cup, too. Like, there were some super broken strategies with, like... Oh, this would be a great time for targeting jammer, by the way. But there were, like, super broken strategies revolving around, like, Kamikaze or something, and so SSSS just, like... crippled it like in the middle of the tournament because he was like, no one can use this again. Which, yeah, I mean, like, you know, extreme times call for extreme measures, I guess, you know what I mean? Oh, look at the deny. Boom roasted. Wait, that's actually really impactful, isn't it? Because he's probably about to try to use this carrier to push him off of there. Wow. Intéressant. Collector rush. This is in StarCraft 2. I would love to see it. If you can show me, I will love it. But... I will say this about Targeting Jammers, by the way. We were playing one game. It wasn't even in patch. I think this was in vanilla. It was against Tomcat. Was like one of the people. It was like a 2v2 or something. And he had like 4 Con F siege cruisers or something, and they started barraging, and I was just like, nope, and plopped it on them, and then just like marched over with a bunch of railguns. It was like game over. You know what I mean? So there's a serious potential in these guys. I feel like we don't often see it. But I know it's there, you know what I mean? It's always just kind of like just outside the horizon, you know? I'm sure if we were playing like on the big stage, you know, with like all these professional players and stuff, like we would see some insane Targeting Jammer plays come out. And I mean, that's really where Saban would shine as a faction. It's kind of in these like unique abilities that are really interesting that you don't, you know, see every day. So that's, I feel like, what Saban is kind of best at. The area, you mean? Yeah. But the tricky thing is if you increase the area, then the graphic doesn't increase, does it? Otherwise, I have another idea for my joke patch, but I don't think it does. Oh, just like the amount that the slow... Wait. Clarify what you mean? Like, does it only slow you down if you go like closer to the center? By the way, Sport Cruiser kind of derping on a wrong rally point, but he'll fix that. This guy freaking slacking off. The world has no need for a drone. Get to work, buddy. But yeah, May's kind of failing to do, you know, what we were talking about, like hold off that 3rd base eco there. So he did kind of, I think, just slow himself down a little bit. Should have been on 3 base for a while now, I would say. Oh, yeah. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I guess I'd like to see that because it's a very interesting effect, you know what I mean? Like, probably not too much though, like, because AV suppression, for example, is like one of the best things about them. Like, maybe 30% is okay, but if you're getting up to like 50, it's probably too much. Necessary. Very good investment. How many ALMs is this, by the way? 9. He's at like 70 fleet cap, you know. Well, actually, he's got like probably like 150 fleet capacity or something like that. Are we watching like that movie about Gallipoli right now? What's going on? Most effective barrage I've ever seen, man. I will say, if you're playing with low frame rate, something that I've noticed happens sometimes is that, like, you hit an ability and you move the mouse and click, and then it deploys it right there. That might have been what happened to him, but I don't know. And I would know a thing or two about playing with low frame rate, so I'll just put it that way. Needs a couple more AVs here, because I think all these guys are going to die now. But he's definitely got the army to make a sort of a push there, so... I love how they just like flip upside down and stuff. It's hilarious. Imagine how OP Gaussian would be if a unit flipped upside down and couldn't move anymore. That'd be terrible. Anyway, this artillery is very effective, but I don't think there's enough of it. So you can see all these railguns are very low here. Like all these shots are doing some serious damage, but Cal's position is still just kind of getting compacted more and more and more, and so it's not going to be long before, yeah, he actually is already relinquishing that third base, and I think that spells the beginning of the end. I don't really see what he's going to... Yeah, AR shots are insane. I don't really see what he's going to do to get back into this game here. In fact, he might just lose his carrier right here. Yeah, I think he will. Oh, and there's even ALMs, aren't there? There's there's 5 of them. There's 6. What? That is, oh my gosh. Well, that's the thing, Catharsis. He doesn't have a CU float. I mean, he could solve it if he wanted to with, you know, like, useful units and stuff. By the way, he's getting, like, mauled here. I don't know what's happening. I was kind of paying attention to the ALMs. But imagine if, like, this is what... This right here is 8 ALMs, okay? So that could be... let me do some quick maths. Yeah, that could be almost, like, 20 LAVs. That's, like, I'm trying to think how many... 16... Yeah, no, it's actually 20 LAVs. And if you had that right now... Oh, he won! He would win the game. No, if he had that right now, like, all of this would be dead, you know what I mean? So, that kind of ALM spam is just, like, redonkulous. Are they, what the? Did you see that too? They were hiding from me. I guess they're the same color as the sand. There's kind of a bug that, like, when replay ends, sometimes, like, things will just kind of disappear from the sensors. Anyway. ALM spam, not my thing. I'll just put it that way. Although I'm pretty sure he was about to kill cowofschmau's carrier there. No, there's no rails left at all. Maybe the ALMs could do it. Maybe they could do it. Oh, hold up. I need to load Game 3 in here. Pretty even on eco, though, like I said. After he held off that 2PC assault ship push that just did, like, nothing, they kind of equalized. Like, Maze should have been really far ahead of that position, but it's enough. He won the game, so... Torrent Crater going to be our last map. And I find that rather interesting. We know Torrent Crater is not quite as disgusting as it is in vanilla, but still, I feel like Galzine has a really effective... Like, they have a really good rush here on Torrent Crater, so... Well, by the way, Catharsis, I watched your game versus Tomcat. The, like, game 1 was just like... just like blast drone on blast drone nonsense. I loved it. But, honestly, it kind of looked like you were just, like, beating him up, you know what I mean? I guess he hasn't been nearly in practice, like, as in practice as you are, huh? Yes, it definitely is. But no, I mean, just like the whole game, it just felt like, boom, sock to the face, boom, oh, boom, in the crotch, oh, you know, like, he just could not get back into it. I can't remember though, how did you hit his eco? Because he had 2 BDs too, but I feel like they didn't do anything, right, on your side? Well, yeah, but like, how did you get in there? Because I feel like... Oh, that's right, yeah, he did do that, didn't he? But I feel like his assault ship push could have really hit for damage, but it just kind of didn't. It was weird. I don't know, I watched it a little while ago, so I can't totally remember. Scanner in the classic location here, going to reveal the format of the base there. Of course, if you imagine all 4 of them spawn here, you know that the CU Salvager came out second, so... Unless your opponent is playing like freaking 4D chess, which I guess I wouldn't put past Maze, it is still very likely that he went for RU first. But in this case, that actually signified... Oh no. Oh no. He quick dropped for this. Look, you know how much damage he does in one shot? It's like pathetic. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. Oh yeah, those sounds are good, but... Anyway, the thing is, normally support cruiser first would not be queued by one salvager on the RUs, but actually this is the, this is what's going on here, so. But the thing is, I think this was like an attempt to deny the scanner, but it didn't work, right? Like he saw the support cruiser come out. He knows about that. So it's not like that even really did anything for him. And now it's isolated. Should just get picked off by these sandstormers. It seems kind of like a wasted CS to me. But, you know, to each their own. Railfab comes out. It's one PC Railfab. This is actually potentially dangerous, but this is the kind of thing that doesn't tend to work terribly well. But if cowofschmau just hides his production cruiser properly... Oh, that was so close. Woo! Yeah, he should be able to do some really nasty things here. I will say, though, if this was his plan from the beginning, he probably ought not to have had this base runner running around. But we'll see, we'll see. He knows about Support Cruiser first, so he's coming in here, and ALM gets deployed. We know how well that's going to fare. Support Cruiser is already taking shots then. And for Maze, we do have AV Fab on the way, but the idea is that Rail Fab should now counter that. Moving into kind of the classic location around on the back side, but I've tended, like, from games where I've tried this against opponents, I think you take too much time to get there. You're not gonna succeed on this push exactly. You know, you could even just leave. You've already done the damage. There's been like 250 Cs that you killed, and then 750 just deployed out on the front line for no reason. Oh no! Hey, he might kill this. No, there's actually an AAV coming out now. So, but again, what do I always say about? No, that's an LAV. I think it's gonna kill the support cruiser. No, he's not gonna get it. Okay. But still, that damage is huge. I would have pulled out when you had like maybe 5 left or something, once the carrier came over basically. Or maybe just like rotated around onto this side and then, you know, started harassing this base. If you can take out this targeting jammer, that's really nice. Oh, it's in the wrong position. Yeah, never mind. But still though, the damage he's done to the support cruiser is very noticeable. Refinery mode is going to come out now, so cowofschmau going to back away from this. I wouldn't actually. I think I would stick on the offensive here, make heavy railguns instead of assaults, and then just have enough sandstormers to deal with the LAVs. If your opponent really starts committing to them, you should have a second production cruiser before too long, and then you can come out with 2 PC. You should be able to deal with the LAV aggression. And if he really commits to it, like a production line or something, then you can just get assault railguns. But at any rate, you should be able to, yeah, I mean, you should be able to use the heavy rails to like siege him off of his second and then off of his main and then game over, you know what I mean? But and the thing is, that normally wouldn't work, right? I'm going to say it right now, like, 1 PC railgun attacks are very hard to pull off against Coalition. Normally you need 2 PCs that you get kind of that surprise factor, you know what I mean? But, with this much ALM spam, like, you could do it. I mean, that would not be very hard, so. Second artifact is picked up here by cowofschmau. Something died, probably just a sandskimmer. We have missile battery fabrication coming out from Maze. He's always very afraid of anti-air. But in this case, I mean, it could be justified, I guess. You've only seen sandskimmers, but we're not that far into the game to where you need to kind of worry about that, I feel. But we also have missile ship fab coming out of cowofschmau, which is, again, pretty early. But these sandskimmers kind of getting the jump on these LAVs here. This guy needs to pull back, though. Micro's not terribly good. They've got high ground, too, so they're doing a pretty good job. But it looks like the speed upgrades are coming out at the same time for these players, so that's pretty cool. More LAVs streaming out here from Maze, but they need to conglomerate. You don't want to just run in like that. Rush B, do not stop. That's exactly why that doesn't work in Counter-Strike, by the way. Pull him back! Pull him back! ALM, as you'd expect. So Fab is coming up from Maze now. He's got missile battery tech done, so I mean, if he needs it, he can get it. He's ready to transition kind of into the mid game, but we see Cow getting up on a 3 base, and again, Maze is pretty slow to get up there. That is kind of a theme that I've seen from him before. Remember, this is the ace match though. Like you can't be making mistakes in the ace match. So I mean, definitely that's where he needs to be headed now. You can see you've beaten the aggressive army. Use your probe to scout, you know you're not being pushed. You see the 3rd base eco, like, get up there now, you know, like, there's no time to waste. You've got to get up there. That's definitely a waste. Okay, he cancels it, though, which is good. Yay! Good. I'm actually not sure which one you should make first, the support cruiser or the salvagers, but you know, it doesn't matter too much. It's going to be a pretty small differential. So he does make the right choice there, going to get up onto his base. Powers are starting to detect from cowofschmau. Don't know exactly why. We're not nearly at a stage where the carriers are going to be moving out. He definitely doesn't have a production cruiser either. I mean, to be fair, like, early carrier move-outs can be pretty effective when you just are like, yo, I'm here. And you're like, whoa, I mean, you know, but this is not going to be that kind of thing. He doesn't have a production cruiser. He doesn't have the speed to get out there, really, so. But the LAVs are coming in here, and they're not exactly challenged on the field yet. The terrain here makes it a little awkward for the assault railguns to exploit the range. They're already too close. I mean, these guys could actually just run in there and kill them, so. They've got boost too. They could just boost up, like hop over that dune there, and you're there, and you're killing them. So that actually was a push that Maze could have made. I mean, he definitely had that, but he didn't go for it. That's okay, I guess. Battlecruiser fabrication gonna come out now. Interesting choice. And more power reserves still from cowofschmau. He's actually gonna reposition that carrier over there. I think he's trying to get it into the main position, but that's kind of that's an unsustainable move because your opponent can see this, so he sees now. Okay, look, the carrier left, so AVs just pop right in, and then you know you're going to be pressured on multiple fronts, which is it's not sustainable. And if you have the carrier here, he's not on the edges, so it's not really going to help in any pushes anyway until it's already taking you off of the base. This is also really bad right here. Yeah, this is going to be a dead production cruiser for sure. Hold ground command being used even. He can. Oh. No, don't leave! What are you doing? Huh, that is an interesting thought leading. I guess you're kind of right, yeah. Because unlike BCs, they don't suffer from those problems of having like really short range, do they? Anyhow, this production cruiser really ought to be dead. He could have dodged the missile ship barrage and then just like stayed there. Like if he just stayed there, it was dead. I mean, it was down to like a third or something, I think. Still though, AVs are doing some tremendous. They're not because they focused on the production cruiser. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. Look, you have a carrier production upgrade available, dude. Just get it, please. So I don't have a conniption. This is not the way to play DOK. But he's up onto 3 base. A little bit slow, I gotta say, but he is up onto it. Oh, boy. No, he's not up onto 3 base. He's gonna push out with his carrier? Someone help me understand this. Anyway, Power Reserve 2 is on the way for him, so yeah, I think he's trying to push. Another random anti-air turret post, by the way. You haven't even seen any air units. Actually, as I say that, they're getting tech to, but like... Don't do this, because this turret will be killed, like, almost certainly, if his opponent sees it. And he should see it, like... Nice. He should see that turret, you know what I mean? Like, eventually he'll get vision on it, he'll just take it out, you know, and then it's just gonna be wasted CUs, so... Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Maze's eco here. This is really kind of odd. Assault railguns are here too, by the way, in a very excellent position for them. I mean, this is totally open ground. I think Maze has got rail fab, yeah he does, but there's none of them in the area. So I mean, we could really see a counter push here now, you know what I mean? Like, this is on the cards. These guys need to back away though. You need the assault railguns to be like long range doing damage, sand skimmers are up close being the buffer. Well, that's against other sand skimmers. Maybe you actually just want them to stay back too, but... And then be the buffer if the LAVs get up there. But, you know. Yeah, kind of poor management of the units. There's also, I guess, not enough of them. I didn't really realize that before. But, I mean, they could still, like, possibly take this fight. We have no armor. Ooh. Barrage is kind of a whiff, too, yeah. So these units are going to get jumped on. That's going to be taken out. So that's very lucky for Maze, though. And that also means this turret post ought to probably stay up. We have interceptor fabrication done now. You can see the little targets on the carrier there. Yeah, but I mean, we do already have missile ship fabrication done, missile battery fabrication. There's there's actually 3, because one of them is here too, getting, you know, killed. That's actually a really big commitment into anti-air. Sorry, I turned the music off. I just realized, like, it's too quiet. Well, no surprise there's an ALM here, of course. What's going on the other side? Not much. Although a big wall of Sandscape is coming in here, but these are like full upgraded LAVs, and they'll have support cruisers for, you know, support and ALMs. So they probably will be okay there. I mean, this is the advantage of Saban, is that your flank is always more covered than otherwise, so it's harder to kind of mess up that way, you know what I mean? Again, this is kind of a bad position for an anti-air turret though. I don't like this move. This is gonna work out fine for him because he's already got, you know, a lot of damage on the field here, but like, yeah, no, I think the ALMs here are really hard to justify. Sandskimmer is kind of conglomerating in multiple positions too, though. He's just like, you know, you're taking damage here, just like get damage done on the other side. That's the way to do it. This is actually a lot of Sandskimmers now that I look at it. So I mean, we could see maybe this work out. It's 11 on 6. It's almost double the number. But we should see a PC die here, cowofschmau. A little slow to pull that one out. And yeah, we're getting LAVs getting killed here, so we might see some nastiness over on that side. Third extraction comes down. This army really is kind of unassailable is the other thing. Speaking salvages. I say that because they are not vulnerable to strikecraft at all. There's a carrier, there's battle cruisers, you know, like that's not going to do anything to them. So these Sandscrims here are not going to be able to do any kind of backstabbing to the army. Is it about... What? But the real question is, how did these guys die? What happened over here? I thought for sure they ought to take that fight, right? But they're all dead. Yeah, he's actually sinking into the ground. Oh my gosh, Maze, you need to be careful. You're going to die here. Did you see that? He like it's sucked into the ground. Maybe there's just like quicksand over there. Careful, battlecruiser. Yeah, look, he's doing it too. I love DOK, man. Oh my gosh. Would that have teleported him if he was rotated like that way? And just like spawned him right there or something? Well, okay, how does the teleport work? Like, where does he go if he gets teleported? Because I thought it was just like the middle of the map, because that's what I've always seen on the shallows, but I'm not so sure about that. I assume Catharsis would know about this. Yeah, me neither. Or me too, sorry, me neither. Me too. Anti-air is actually there, which is kind of lucky for Maze. Probably wants to make a support cruiser now too, just get these guys filled up, but overwhelming numbers here. He's definitely got this one. Thing is, he just needs to worry about like the carrier kind of like runaway, you know what I mean? And this can delay the game for some time on Torrent Crater, but it can't win the game really for Maze, right? So, or sorry, for cowofschmau. I think at this point it's pretty decisively over. I've seen some wonky carrier ring around the rosies in my day, but never have they really worked for the guy who got pushed off of his base first. So. Like, look at the damage that the ALMs do against the salvagers, for example, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it. Like, you're not, you don't have a military unit here, you know what I mean? You have, like, a harassment thing that, like, you know, stuns attackers while they're trying to, like, drive through your base. It's not gonna work to use units like that as a frontline, like, combat unit. It just can't work, so. Take your tinfoil hats off, people. We're playing real DOK here. So it looks like Maze is actually just going to kind of take up the base over here, which is kind of a fun strategy. I like that. Obviously, this field control he got too allows him to extract. He's going to be on 3 base in like a second if he wants to. Yeah, it is, you know, like once you know you're done, I always say this. Once you know you've lost, it's okay to surrender because your opponent's not going to mind. Unless it's empty soul, I guess, but whatever. Fourth extraction is finished, by the way, so... And I mean, it's completely, you know, not questionable that he's got the field control here. So just 1 base runner, you'll win the game. It's easy. But yeah, I mean, if you run away like this, like you know you've lost this game. Like if there's a chance you'll still win, stay in, sure. But this is like more than over. You know what I mean? So it's fine to surrender if you want to. There's no shame in that. look how much good these ALMs do. I mean, true, yeah, you're right. But I mean, with this many battle cruisers, I find it still unlikely. Gonna see a dead production cruiser here for sure. Never mind. But yeah, the rail's about to go down here now too. But yeah, Maze really just needs to make a base runner. That's the play that'll end this. That, and also take these battle cruisers and go up there. You know what I mean? So you can just kind of choke your opponent out, right? Like you can't go one way or the other. But yeah, I mean, eventually we'll see cowofschmau GG out probably, or you know, just I mean, he's even got a base runner. Just like get that artifact and win, you know. Carrier's moving the right location. That gives me hope. Fighter and gunship, actually, that's a really good choice because you can just kind of do infinite damage against your opponent, right? But this carrier is pretty powered up, so it's not going to be that easy to kill it with fighters. This is one reason, by the way, why it's really good design that carriers can't go everywhere that other units can, because if you couldn't, you know, move through the cracks and stuff, you have like games that just went on for way too long because you can't catch your opponent. These BCs probably ought to be headed down south, by the way, for that same reason, right? Because even though you're slower than them, you know, you'll get there and then you just close the net. Okay, he has picked it up now. Yeah, you're right, Catharsis. Well, you know in Homeworld Remastered how people will just like hyperspace to random places and you're like, dude, what are you doing? I understand in like the 2.3 patch, apparently you can't do that as well. Yeah, you need a lens here. No, you need carrier weapons, and why'd you back away? But yeah, this is kind of like that, you know what I mean? Anyway, amazingly, the carrier gets out. He's going full, you know, speed racer mode. Speeding over to that artifact extraction zone. This guy's like, what? No! Maze! No! No! Are they actually doing damage? I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess they should, shouldn't they? I mean, they must be. There's no way this would be going on otherwise. Artifact gets denied. I can't believe it. Is that a bomber? What the heck? Oh my gosh! I was fast forwarding. The battle cruisers caught sight of him, but he could actually have lost there. Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Oh well. Oh well. That had to end. If cowofschmau had won, I would be like, I would not be able to believe it. Look, don't be idle with base runners when they're that far away from the extraction, okay? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I still have time, actually, don't I? Let me actually check if I have time. Oh, yeah, I have time. So we are gonna go for it, and just continue casting. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. I mean, next time meaning, you know, next video. You know.